So let's review the development environment that we're going to need to continue working with this course. I recommend that you install Google Chrome. In my opinion, Google Chrome is the best browser when you are working with JavaScript. Of course, if you are already comfortable using Edge or Firefox, you can continue working with those browsers. But I'm gonna be using Chrome for the rest of the course. And also we're going to need a text editor, and Atom is a really great editor. Sublime Text also, and Brackets, but in my opinion, when you're working with JavaScript, the best text editor that you will find is Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is free. Visual Studio Code is available in Windows, Mac, and Linux, so I think it's a great option to use Visual Studio Code. So I have already installed Visual Studio Code. And when you install Visual Studio Code, you will find a menu like this on the left. Click on this icon, the last one, and from here you can install new extensions, something really similar that you will find in Sublime Text, or also something really similar that you will find on Atom. So for example, from here you can see that I have already installed some of the extensions, and I'm going to close this. So here are the extensions that I recommend that you install. So first we're gonna need a server, and in my opinion, Live Server is the best extension that you will find in Visual Studio Code. This is going to create a server and has some really nice features. We're gonna take a look at this in just a little. Then also I recommend this one, JavaScript ES6 code snippets. This is also a really nice extension. This extension is going to offer some nice snippets. If you scroll a little, you will find some of the snippets here on the bottom, but also you will find, or it will offer, some nice code auto-completion. So in my opinion, these are the most important. Here I have HTML5 snippets, and also if you want, you can install this bracket pair colorizer. This is going to highlight, for example, the braces, the curly braces, or the square brackets. Is going to add different colors. So for example, if you open an if statement, the parentheses are going to be in the same color. Then if you open the curly braces, it's going to highlight them in different colors. So this is going to be really helpful, especially since we're going to write a lot of code through the course. So in my opinion, these are the extensions that I recommend. The most important is going to be Live Server. Make sure that you install Live Server. If Visual Studio Code sends you a message that it needs to restart the editor, then start again. And for example, if I close this, everything from here, we're gonna create the folder. We're gonna open a new folder right here, and I'm gonna call this one Learning.js, something like that. And we're gonna use this to start working with JavaScript. We're gonna learn all the fundamentals in this folder. So then I'm gonna open this in Visual Studio Code. Click and drag this to the editor, and this is going to open a new window. So I'm gonna make this a little bigger, and here you can see we have Learning.js. In Visual Studio Code, you can create a new file clicking on this first icon, and I'm gonna name this index.html. Then since we're using Visual Studio Code, this already has Emmet, which is a really nice tool to write HTML. So for example, you can create the basic HTML5 structure just by adding the exclamation mark and hitting tab. So basically, Emmet is going to allow you to create something like this. For example, a dot in container, and or hit on tab is going to create a div with the class container. You can create other snippets, for example, a UL, and then you can add the greater than, then li by 3, and then you add an anchor, and you click or you hit on tab, and this is going to create an unordered list with 3 list items, and each item is going to have an anchor. So Emmet already comes in Visual Studio Code. You can also install Emmet in Atom or Sublime Text, but you need to install this as a separate extension. So finally, I'm going to add an H1 right here. I'm gonna call this one Learning JavaScript. And if you remember, we installed Learning JavaScript. If you remember, we installed Live Server. So click on the right button of the mouse and you will find at the bottom Open with Live Server. You can click here and this is going to open the server with Live Server. One of the really nice features about this Live Server is that you can, for example, I'm gonna make this smaller and also this one. You will find this live reload feature. So for example, if I add something like p, hello, and save, you don't have to reload the browser. It's going to detect these changes and it's going to reload automatically. And this is going to be really nice. So this is going to be the server already running. You can see the URL or the IP is really similar to the local host. So let's say that you finish working in this day. Here on the bottom you will find this port and you can click here and this is going to stop the server from running. And let's say that in the next day you decide that you want to continue working. There are two ways to launch the server. You can right click on the mouse and click on Open with Live Server, or also here on the bottom you will find this button that says Go Live. If you click here, this is going to open another window with the current server. So this is how you stop and run the local server. And the local server is going to be really helpful when we are working with, especially with Ajax and the Fetch API. So I really recommend that you install a local server like this. There are other servers for Sublime Text and Atom. And also Brackets has its own server, just in the case that you decide to work with one of those editors. So I'm gonna remove this hello. I'm gonna remove also this h1. So in the next video, we're gonna write our first JavaScript program. So see you in the next video.